Has Aubrey Graham finally showed us that he's clearly not like us?
Da, 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 da. That was
Dead,
good.
okay.
That was good. That was good.
Has Malidon showed us that these new wave dancehall artists need to spend more time in the studio and less time yapping on podcasts? Sound check. While the perfect place for rising artists to showcase their talent, has Pablo YG's recent staging showed us that more artists need to do more to promote their own work instead of leaving it just to fans? All that and more on this episode of The Playlist. Play listeners, welcome back. I'm your girl Luna, and I've got my amazing co-host Jordy.
Big
Actually,
Lou.
we're not friends right now.
Oh, we're not.
We're not friends
We're
right
not.
now.
We're not. Yeah, true. We're not friends.
No, this is Kendrick over here. Some over there is the light-skinned team.
Oh,
If you
wow.
can't pass
Okay.
the paper bag test, you don't belong on this side of the field
okay.
today. You also don't belong behind the camera because somebody, I won't call his name, but it's the opposite of North, was actually talking about Kendrick's new album. What is it, GNX? And that he's not a fan. But what I would like to say, Kendrick didn't release this album to impress anybody. His huge success over the summer with just one little song, Not Like Us, has already proven his ability as an artist.
He never released this.
As a,
Ain't nobody care about that nigga.
as a
Yeah,
rapper.
there we go.
Anybody care about that nigga? But what is it?
Let's go.
Mad City. What is it?
Let's
Mad City
go.
has been one of the best albums
Let's
ever
go.
for like a decade.
All right.
This is like an Apple versus Samsung.
Yeah, why do you hold on? Can,
It's not an Apple versus Samsung thing, but I feel
Can
like
we-
when the Beige Brigade decided,
The
let's
Beige
not try
Brigade.
and, let's not
All right.
try and make this a legal
Okay,
matter.
can we? Okay,
Why
hold on. No, before
It's upsetting.
Before, hi guys. I know she jumped right in, but you don't know.
My bad.
Let's just before we get to the Beige Brigade, I guess. We can speak on the album.
Yes.
How do you feel?
Objectively.
No, I listen. As the resident, quote unquote Drake fan here,
Yes.
I have been. I think in terms of somebody who's been trying to let their voice be heard, I have been very unbiased.
Yes.
I have done my best to be very unbiased. When it comes to this album, I think the first listen, I was a little suspect, but when I continue listening to it, I have nothing bad to say about the album. I really don't.
I have
think the
some
album is
like
good.
preferences.
I think the album is good.
I think it's quite a few of the songs sound quite similar to Not Like Us in terms of like the introduction, in terms of like the beat and how heavy it is. I will
Yeah,
say
I think it's hyphy, which is like Oakland rap, that style of
rap that comes out of
California,
that area.
yeah.
Okay. Which does make sense, and like I do like that he showcased quite a few West Coast rappers. I thought that was really cool. I think it's weird that Baby Keem was not on the album.
Yeah, because Drake said it. Like, okay, that shit only hit when Baby Keem pens to it.
No. Drake needs to worry about child support and stop focusing on other people's family
Don't do that.
matters.
That's not cool. 'Cause
I'm
you know,
just
say the
saying.
man don't-
I'm just
Oh,
saying.
you think he worries about child support?
I don't think he worries about child support, but I think he's worried about all the wrong things.
All right, you're gonna be able to get to Drake.
Okay, I'll
Because
come to
Drake
Drake.
has his own section in the show.
I'll come
Stay
to
on the
Drake.
album.
I'll come to Drake.
Stay on the album.
Going back to the album, I do think like it felt, some songs did feel a little repetitive, or like he was trying to like hit the same vibe that he got with Not Like Us.
I agree.
And that I thought was like a little, as a consumer, disappointing, but I know that Kendrick fans were appreciative of that.
Oh,
like
there were.
Squabble Up, that's doing numbers right now on social media and everywhere, and you know, it's fun. The song with SZA, he has 2 songs with SZA. What is the name of the first one again?
Luther. I think.
Luther, I thought that was great. I'm not as big of a fan as the second one. I think Gloria.
Gloria.
But I thought it was a cool project. It didn't really seem like anybody knew this project was going to be released, except for like Kendrick and like the spirits in his head. But
And Day Free.
and you're right, and you know, it's going well. The Mustard tagline is doing really well on social, so I think this is cool. I like that he made reference to everything that happened around the beef. It wasn't really a beef; it was a demolition. If
No,
we're
it was a
honest.
beef. Don't do that.
Okay.
It was a beef.
fine.
It was a beef.
But I like that he mentioned Snoop Dogg. I like that he mentioned Lil Wayne being upset that him and his 3 Dreads can't perform at the Super Bowl halftime show. I like that he mentioned.
Not more than 3 dreads, guys.
I like that he mentioned all those things, you know, and I like the music video that we're seeing for, I think it's Squabble
It's
Up.
Squabble Up, yeah.
I think it's cool. It shows a lot of diversity, shows the magic of where he's from. It's fun. It's very West Coast. You know, it's a cool project.
All right, let me I'm here now.
All right, go on.
Okay,
go
I'm
on,
here
go
now.
on.
Like I said, I've given the album, like, if I want to grade it out of 10 straight out, it's like 8 out of 10 for me. Luna hit something that I was going to hit on, which is true. I think he tried to not necessarily recreate Not Like Us, but definitely recreate the bop that is Not Like Us, like the sound, the way, like, people dancing to the music. He's definitely trying to create that culture with a couple of those songs. Some of the ones that sound in the vein of Not Like Us are Squabble Up, TV Off,
Yeah. TV off for
Um,
sure.
Peekaboo. Like,
Yeah.
those are the ones where he's trying to, like, really hit the, like I said, the bop and the feeling of Not Like Us.
Who's the feature on Peekaboo? Because that was a cool feature.
I don't know how to
Jovi
pronounce his
something.
name. It's Azchik.
Let's check.
Azchike. I don't know how to
That
pronounce
was a
his name.
cool feature. That was good. That was good.
The album gives a little, but I think the album has a little bit of diversity because even the songs that you mentioned, those are about, there are like 3 or 4 songs that have that Not Like Us bop. But the first song, the intro, is Whacked Out Murals, which I think, it's where the victory lap starts for Kendrick, in my opinion, where, he talks about his mural being defaced in LA. Him saying that, yo, if you guys are looking for me to pretend like, yo, I'm trying to call a truce with this whole beef, I'm not. I'm still on that. It's still F that guy. So, Whacked Out Murals is a victory lap song for me.
I like that you use the term victory lap because I think that's what this entire project
It is. It's a victory lap.
And I feel like people have been critical of like some of the music, but it's like this is not a project for him to show you that he's capable. He's already showed you
Yeah.
that. This is him like he's going literally in the
Squabble
studio.
Up is the one where we got the intro of that at the beginning of the Not Like Us video, I believe, if I remember correctly. Not that Squabble Up isn't good. I was expecting a little more. I don't know why. Maybe it's just my expectation because I felt like when I heard the intro the first time, I was like, wow, that have potential. It's a good song, nonetheless. Not taking it away from him. Luther, one of my favorite tracks on the album with SZA. It's one of those love, owning love kind
Yeah.
of songs.
I wasn't like the biggest fan of that song because
I think
feel
it's
like
Gloria you don't like.
no.
Wasn't it
I mean,
Gloria?
I think it's okay. And out of the two, that's my preferred. But when I
Okay.
think of like Kendrick love songs, I think of like Loyalty with Rihanna.
Yeah,
And
okay.
that to me is like where I place Kendrick when it comes to like love.
Another song, Man at the Garden, which is very, it's a self-affirming song, I'd like to say. Our producer, Mark, loves that song because he posted it on Instagram with a picture of himself trying to look very deep.
Okay,
I
Slay.
don't know.
Work, like.
I was trying to, when you was doing that. Anyways, big up yourself, Mark. I know you're going to be editing and seeing this, so good luck. Hey No is one of those other hyper songs, kind of, still on the victory lap thing.
The entire album, like, there's this motif of being, I'm the big man.
Yeah.
You hear it through the whole album.
It's definitely one of those, like, I'm rooted in my male ego, but not in
Yeah.
not like a
Not in an
negative way.
arrogant way.
Right. Like I said, Reincarnated, which is a song, which is what should I say? It's the most conceptualized song in my opinion, because he speaks on in the 3 verses he speaks on being reincarnated as other artists, and then even in the 3rd verse he's speaking to God, like he has a conversation with the Lord, but the conversation is him as it's so weird. The conversation is him as the devil and the music as what the devil uses to influence
the masses.
the masses. It's a really deep and layered song. You get me? A really deep layered song. I'm not gonna go around it.
Yeah.
I had to listen to it a couple times to be like, oh yo,
That's
he was
real.
he was in it.
Yeah.
And again, you guys know me. It's OVO, but
Yes.
but I'm when it comes to concepts, he's
Brilliant.
undeniably the best in my
Yeah.
opinion. TV Off is the one with mustard tagline in the middle of the song where that's gone viral. I don't know if people are guessing that mustard part. I'm just screaming it. I don't know. I guess people love it.
I think people are absolutely gassing it, but I think it's like people are excited.
Right. But I love the song, like, especially
Right.
the first half of the song, where the first half of the song is brilliant to me.
I actually thought the mustard tagline, it confused me when I heard it. When I heard the full song initially, and like everything went down, and then you just hear like mustard. I was confused. I was like, wait, huh? I thought it.
Yeah.
I hadn't listened to the full project yet, so I was expecting it to be at the beginning of the song, and I don't know.
Dodger Blue, where he has a couple West Coast artists that feature a lot on this album, by the way. Sometimes I'm wondering if that was like, because that was one of Drake's criticisms in the beef, that you don't really put on any other West Coast artists. I'm not saying that influenced him to do this, but it felt like, oh, if you guys say I don't do that, I'm going to make an album that's going to be good, and I'm going to bring these people along.
Honestly, I think it was just really good marketing for Kendrick, especially because so many people saw a lot of what he created during that beef as like, we're repping the West Coast, we're bringing together a community, we've all bonded.
Oh no,
this.
I'm just saying in terms of the narrative. I'm not saying that influenced him to do that. Yeah.
Drake is such a hypocrite, girl.
We're gonna get there. Peekaboo is good. Heart Part 6 is another one that I think you
really
like.
nice.
I think you like Heart Part 6. I like it too. The third, some of the verses is kind of a homage to TDE and Schoolboy Q, Absol,
It was a little softer.
J-Rock, yeah.
A bit more.
And GNX is another deep. It's not a deep song, but it's definitely layered. It had to do with GNX is actually has to do with the car that is in the album art.
Is that the car?
Yeah, it's a GNX.
Oh, so that's the title song.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we have Gloria with Scissor. Like I said, it's an 8 out of 10 album for me. Do I think the people are glazing? Of course they are, because it's his victory lap. But I think the album's good. I really do.
Hey, let him ride his victory lap. Come on, a win is a win.
All right, let's go now.
A win is a win. I got a little side eye from the side, but it's true.
Let's
People
go.
are proud.
Let's go now. We're here to talk on.
Aubrey,
Yeah,
girl. First of all, not you shaving your head, shaving off your little pigtails so you can align closer to whiteness. Weird.
What? So wait.
Number two. Number two.
You make it sound like he never had a fade before.
It's not that he's never had a fade before, but he was rocking the little pigtails and
and he got
the
tired.
bubbles. And
Got tired
he got
of it.
tired, or he was
Yeah.
like, actually, I'm about to step foot in court. Let me remind them I'm half white. That's the vibes that I got from that. Weird.
All right.
You're on someone's stream and you're telling them they can't play this music, this music, this music, this music. That you're so
Hold on.
boring.
Okay. You're getting. Are we going to speak up, or are we going to intro the topic?
fine.
We're going to intro the topic.
You do
Thank
it
you.
then, since it's your little friend.
Drake has leveled a petition
Yes.
against UMG.
And
The light in the
iHeartRadio
corner
and
is off.
Spotify.
I don't know why that happened,
Oh, so
but
the light. Is that fine?
the light in the corner is off. But yeah, he leveled a petition against UMG.
Yeah.
About the defamation of Not Like Us.
Like
I believe.
promoting it's. Let me read the exact
Yeah,
thing.
please,
Basically,
go
it's
there.
about. Yeah, so that's fascinating because apparently he's saying that iHeartRadio pushed a song that's
Mm-hmm.
has the potential to be defamation because Kendrick called him a lover of young
Call him the
people.
word.
Yeah, and because Drake is the one that's bringing this action, he's basically saying that he suffered economic harm, which is really fascinating that a multimillionaire suffered economic harm.
I think what in the lawsuit, if I remember correctly, not the lawsuit because it's not a lawsuit, not suing anybody yet.
It's a petition.
It's a petition.
To clarify, what a petition is you basically said to the court, hey, I have this issue, and then the court can either approve or deny it, and if it's approved, then your lawyers then start collecting information to put together a proper lawsuit.
Okay, so on some, let's get to the aspects of both. On some street hip hop music stuff, it don't look good.
It looks terrible.
And but I think people need to get out of their head that he's not suing Kendrick Lamar. I say a whole heap of that. That's not the truth. He's not suing Kendrick. He's suing. He's not even suing yet. There's a petition against UMG. Now, in my reading, the petition is also about the fact that obviously Not Like Us speaks on, what it speaks on, and Drake is saying that not only did UMG have a stake in promoting the song in terms of, radio, internet bots, if you guys know what bots are, payola, he's saying that they purposefully pushed it because of ongoing negotiations that he has with said label.
But I'm like, how would he even know that?
Well, that is the situation now. Unless he
Allegedly,
has-
people
yeah.
are saying he's done it himself, which is how he knows it's possible.
No, yeah, which I'm going to be very fair here. I think labels have done that before. They've done it for artists. So but obviously if I do it for, let's say we can use Drake for example, if I do it for a nice forward, right? Or not nice forward, In My Feelings. Kiki, do you love me? That song,
Yeah.
right? If I do it for that song, and that's fine. But then as an artist that is signed to your label and a song that is outright saying that I'm a file, you get me? It comes from a place of you are sabotaging me as somebody that's on your label. That is the argument.
I don't think that's an unfair argument. I do believe that maybe the approach was wrong.
No, the optics are terrible.
Yeah.
Because the problem here is that we don't know if he would have had a problem before if Not Like Us did not exist.
Or if it didn't even do so well.
Because that too, but like the thing is that I can't. People said it. I don't think because the truth with the Not Like Us stuff is that song is already available to be like 5 times platinum.
Yeah.
Which is actually why I understand where he's coming from. They clearly boosted that song. 5 times platinum in the space of it's November now. That song came out in May.
I don't think you could say that it clearly boosted some. When you look at the dynamics of like the music and entertainment industry right now, and you look at the role that TikTok plays, that Instagram plays.
No, 100% agree, but it's not only about the bots. It's also about if I'm going to influence us and I'm saying I'm whitelisting this song for you to be able to react to it.
Did you?
No, I don't know if it's true. That's what they're alleging in the petition, that you whitelisted the song for people to be able to speak about it and run it through the major, promotion cycles. Again, do not get me wrong. This is not me saying I think Not Like Us is not a good song. It's a great song. It did what it was supposed to do.
Just breaking down the petition.
I'm just breaking down the petition. Like, to be very clear, he's on the side of UMG because he cannot. But no, what's funny, UMG have come out and said, well, we at UMG have nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
If you are looking to go forward, you need to include Kendrick.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't think this is going to go anywhere. Because I don't think Drake can afford to sue another rapper in terms of how it looks culturally.
You know what I also think is just so fascinating? If the issue was really about defamation, I feel like he's not being loud enough about that.
I think we can. This is me, and this is the problem this is the one issue I have with Drake. He's not transparent enough.
No.
That's the one issue I have.
Okay, even this is a horrible example, but this is the best, most popular example I can think of for right now. When all of those claims, which we now know are true, about Diddy were coming out, he was loudly saying, this is false, that's not correct. Everybody around him was loudly saying, this is not true, here, making up whatever to like try and support the fact that this was defamation. Drake is, your immediate action is like legal action.
Here's the situation. I'm going to bring it back to when he had the beef with Pusha. When Pusha T said, you are hiding a child, and the story added on and all of that. And Drake came out with a note saying, whatever the situation is, never hit my child, none of that. And people tarnished him for that. I think the situation that he's facing, I agree with you, because in his version of Heart Part 6 that he actually released after Not Like Us, he was basically saying none of that is true, and the reason I'm not taking you on in this fight anymore is that you are lying, you are like making stuff up, none of this is true. So he did defend himself, but like, am I going to? So every post that comes out about Not Like Us, I can't just go on it and say, hey.
No, but I feel like he's being so loud with his like, I hate Kendrick and that was so mean, but not loud enough with, that is not who I am. And when you think about it, if his whole thing right now is trying to like build back his street cred, you should be focusing on that.
I genuinely don't think he's trying to build that back anymore.
So what do you think what's the point of this then?
I think the point is that for him, and this is me speculating, for him This has to do with the negotiations going on at UMG. He had a deal with UMG, right, for a certain amount of albums. If I remember correctly, I think it's Certified Lover Boy, Honestly Nevermind, Her Loss, and For All the Dogs. It's a 5-album contract,
So he has
if
one
I
more.
remember correctly. He's supposed to have one more, which is supposed...
Or that?
No, that comes out of the deluxe to For All the Dogs, so it's only still counted as one
Oh,
album.
the scary hours.
You're right. The next album that's supposed to come out is the one with P&D, Price Next Door, and that's supposed to
I love
cover the 5-album contractually obligated thing. But apparently he's recouped the $400 million that they've spent, that they've gave him. He's completely recouped it. That's what's been said. He's recouped it, and now it's about negotiating. He's saying that they've gone on bad business principles by promoting Not Like Us to defame him, for him to be able to renegotiate properly.
That's a stretch.
I'm not saying it's
That
true.
is a stretch.
I'm not saying it's true.
I've never seen
But that's where he's at.
worse sore loser.
That's where he's
Oh my
at.
goodness.
That's where he's at.
Anyway, that's your friend still.
No, I mean, yo, listen. If you're going to ask me, and somebody said it to me, and you also said it before we went on camera, it's just a Jewish side showing up. It's just a Jewish side saying, hey,
Unfortunate.
I mean, it is what it is. But where I'm at is that even, and other guys, I know I'm ranting, but it's very important to music and hear why. The licensing deal that the labels, UMG, have with like Spotify and Apple Music. So they have like a certain amount of, there's a percentage that you're licensed, the UMG license to Spotify and other streaming platforms, I should say, to be able to play the music because the labels own the music, right? Apparently, what is in the petition is that they lowered the licensing threshold by 30% for that one song. I don't know how true that is, but it's in the act, in the defamation thing. Now, the problem with that is that how can you lower that for just one song? That's actually where the criminal, where not criminal, but where the
legal
where the
matter comes
legal
into play.
thing is. Like, you can't do that.
If I have my capitalist hat on, I'm thinking about it from the perspective of a business owner. This song is doing very well, and I want more money.
No, but here's the thing: the whatever deals artists have with the labels, in terms of splits, how the music gets streamed, stuff like that. What Drake is arguing, whether selfishly or not, and I still think it's to his detriment.
Yes.
What he's arguing is you can't make it good for one person. Because it's supposed to be an equal opportunity for artists. That's what it's about. Yeah. You can't make it good for one song. Not like you're saying, hey, we're lowering 30% for everybody to be able to get about. You're lowering it for one song, and that is where his defamation act towards UMG, towards him, comes from. Because you know what that song is talking about. You know what that song is boosting, and it's affecting me in how I'm not talking about the emotional stress that Drake could be going through. I'm not talking about that. Whatever. I'm talking about the fact that in terms of his negotiations, because now what they can look around, what UMG can look around and look at is like, well, we gave you $400 million last time, but since everybody thinks you're a loser, Not Like Us right now, I don't know if we can give you $400 million.
Since you're balding now,
so
we just don't know.
But hey, that's just I want it to be very clear. That's where the petition is at.
Yeah.
I said it. I tweeted it out. I said I think if he goes forward, and there's a part of me selfishly that wants him to go forward.
I don't want him to go forward. I don't think
Because
it's productive.
because it's opening a can of worms.
Do you actually think so?
It can open.
Maybe it's because it's him that it's
yes,
coming
exactly.
from,
He's the only he's one of the only artists, including like Taylor Swift, maybe Beyonce, who could do something like this, and it could open up a can of worms.
Change the game for everybody
Yeah, it
else.
could. So there's a part of me that selfishly wants to do it, and there's the other part of me that's like, Drake, just let it go. I don't know. That's where I'm at.
While I do all right, there is some validity in his claims.
Yeah, there is. That's all I'm at. That's
it
where
was
I'm
made
at.
public a little too soon, in my opinion.
I think
it was made public a little too soon. I think he could have probably approached it a little bit better.
And there's a risk too, because the same thing you said about the payola, the bots, the low end. Who's to know that they've not done that for him in
Exactly.
other like
if you open up this investigation, they're
gonna
gonna
yeah
in your house.
yeah.
too.
So that's the thing. Like unless he 100% believes he has his ducks in a row,
Yeah.
and they've never done it for him. You get me? That's where I'm at with it.
And I'm happy you mentioned Beyonce because she got what is it? Pop star
Pop star of the 21st century.
The 21st century. Right?
She was first.
She was first. Taylor Swift was second.
Rihanna was third. Drake was fourth.
Which is
yeah.
earned. I actually
Definitely.
personally believe that Taylor Swift does not
No,
belong in that.
she's the goat,
Taylor Swift?
In terms of like white pop stars.
I will say that in her
This is the
earlier
goat.
career, Taylor Swift deserved all of her clout. I do believe as she's gotten older, she's gotten lazy though.
There's a precedence also with this Taylor Swift, not to go back to Drake.
Yeah.
When she had label issues and why I feel like Drake's going to have more difficulties than her, she was very transparent.
Yeah.
She came out, she wrote all these letters saying, hey, me and the label aren't on good terms. They're not allowing me to release music. They are owning, I want my masters, things like that. She had an issue with Scooter Braun, who was managing her before.
Oh, that's
and
Justin Bieber.
yeah, right. And she was, why I'm telling you, why I say she's the GOAT, she re-released her projects, Luna, and they outsold more than they did before.
Listen,
that's insane.
I believe for her audience, she is great, but I think she's
If you can argue
often
music-wise, I'm with you. And I don't think she's
and performance-wise, I think she's especially because her Eras tour was going on at the same time as Beyonce's Renaissance tour. So obviously there was a lot of comparison, and I just feel like that just really shows how racist the music industry is because the amount of people that were upset when Beyonce got number one pop star of the 21st century
that's
was crazy to me. And
I heard that and I said, yeah, that sounds about right.
Beyonce? You want to compare Beyonce?
That sounds about
and
right.
Taylor Swift, the Beyonce who's been performing since she stepped out of Miss Tina Knowles. Are you for real right now?
I can understand when they want to argue in terms of her numbers,
Yeah.
but it's more than that. It's
It is
not
a
just
lot
numbers,
more than that. And I feel like I want to humanize these artists, but like when situations like this potential lawsuit comes up, I'm like, you have so much money and you're using it not for the betterment of anyone but yourself.
Well, yeah,
And the
because
fact
it's
that
under.
this is what you want to focus
I think
on is
I think
crazy
it's
to me.
really the self. Like it. Don't get it twisted. I think it's selfish.
It's
but
100%
it's
selfish.
it's going under the guise of, they're screwing with us.
Yeah.
You get me?
Which I can't understand.
Well, yeah, like he can it's selfish, I'm not saying
Yeah.
he's not going from a place of that, from there. I'm just saying that the guys is still, you guys he's like I said it the other day. He pulled back the curtain. He's trying to get people to look into what's going on.
Yeah.
And you
I'm
ask me,
curious-
this
I'm
is how I
curious
feel
what's gonna
about
come out.
people who are of a certain color and own certain companies, isn't me?
T.
As Sizzler said, sue them. He said sue them, but I'm saying sue them. I bear feelings to my carry.
T. I actually could talk about that forever, especially a popular hotel family in this here Jamaica that has not even one member of this family is darker than Jordy's shirt. I have a plethora of problems with that family, and I can't wait until the hotel strikes arrive in this here Jamaica. Anyway, I do want to touch on artists and Twitch. Twitch seems to be the place where everybody's going to advertise everything right now, because I mean that's also how I know that Drake is balding right now. He went on a Twitch.
Yeah, he went there to promote his tour in Australia and New Zealand next year.
As we know, Kai Cenat is still doing his month-long
He is amazing still.
Twitch marathon, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But he also brought Sexy Red, he brought Lizzo, Drewski,
and Kevin Hart. Yeah.
He's brought out so many people, and I think that's really, really cool. And I like, it's not so much Twitch in Jamaica, but there's more like talk shows, like online talk
Streaming.
shows that we're seeing that are working really well. But I think one thing that especially younger Jamaican artists have not quite grasped yet is some things stay in your group chat. Some things you can say when you're in a public space.
I think I know where you're getting to, but he also sings it in his music.
I know, but it's we notice how Young Thug sang a lot of things,
Thug.
but that man's not in
Yeah,
jail
yeah.
right now. right? We're going to come back to a conversation of the content of the music influencing young people. Because
One day. We'll get there.
we will get there. But I just think it's Maledon is who I'm talking about right now, you guys. He went on, what's her name? It's like the Kiss podcast.
Oh my God, I know. I'm stuck. It's Cash. Her name's Cash.
Can you find that for me, please?
Yeah, I will.
So Maledon went on her podcast, and I love this girl's podcast because she's always asking these artists the questions that the girly pops
Right,
want
it's called
to know.
it's called Call Cash Official. It's actually really dope. You guys
Yeah,
check it
Call
out.
Cash Official. It's a great podcast. I think she's an excellent interviewer.
She
Actually,
is.
like she
No
asks
doubt.
questions that like she's like in their business,
Yeah,
and
man.
I rate and I respect her. And so she asked the question, "Do you trick on girls?" And for those who don't know, trick is like, you know, are you spending money on girls? You know, if this is your girlfriend or not. And Maledon was like, "Yeah, what do you mean?" Which, absolutely, yes,
Big
love
mood.
that.
Big mood.
And he was saying, you know, women are also more inclined to give you more in all aspects of your relationship if you are offering financial support. I'm not going to say compensation because I'm not going to say compensation because that's not always what it
Oh,
is. Some
gosh.
men just like receive joy seeing women spend their money.
It's true.
You know, they love that femdom.
Yeah.
Financial domination is really like what it's called.
Yeah, I love it. It's
But
true.
he got me when he said, yeah, you know, you can all lick her in our face and she won't say anything because you just gave her the bag. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa.
All right. All right, cool. With you. Here's the rub.
Okay.
Unfortunately, dancehall music has a tendency to. Obviously, there's dancehall artists that have uplifted women in their music, so
Yeah.
let me not say that it's all the time.
I told you.
But most of the time, there's a little bit of a demeaning of women in
There's
dancehall
one thing to
music.
be demeaning, and then there's another thing to be threatening violence. And I feel like
Do you think that's what you got from it, though? I didn't get that, you know.
it wasn't threatening violence, but I was like,
I never got
the
that.
violence is so normal in your mind that you don't see anything wrong with hitting your girl across her face.
He's a product of the environment.
Right?
though.
Like
He is.
he was talking about being intimate with a girl, and he's basically saying, you know, like if me and her are intimate and I thump her in our face, doesn't matter because I just gave her all
Because you
this
just
money.
gave her a bag, yeah.
It's are we okay, like as a people? Actually, I know the answer to that. We're not okay. And you see it all the time in how girls talk to each other, how men talk to each other, how men and women speak to each other. It's sad and it makes me uncomfortable because you're promoting this message to young women that it is okay that this happens to you. And you're telling young boys,
That it's
yeah,
okay to do
it's
it.
cool for you to do this and it's
There-
not okay.
There's okay. I feel like the issue lies obviously in the middle, where, okay, let's say he's doing that with women in the privacy of his own home, but they are okay with the box jaw, the physicality of it.
Yeah.
They like that
Yeah.
because, you know,
There is
there's-
consent
the-
when
yeah,
it comes to
that's-
stuff like that.
thank you.
How
So-
he was speaking made it seem as though even if you're not cool with it, I'm giving you
okay,
money. So it should
that
be
is where
fine.
that is where I don't think I don't think he meant that.
Probably.
I don't think he meant that. I think
Yeah.
he meant like, yeah, because no, me spend upon you. No, when we're in the thralls of whatever.
Yeah. Then whatever's
yeah,
cool.
I think that is, but I think it still comes. I'm not going to put it on her like, yo, him just be boxing a woman.
No,
I'm not-
I want to clarify. I
Yeah.
don't think that that's what's
Let's-
going on. I don't think that
Well,
Maledon
you-
is a horrible man.
It's a wild thing to say.
It is an
no,
insane
it is.
thing to
It
say.
is.
And I feel
to just say it is crazy.
I feel like it speaks. There is a serious violence against women issue in Jamaica
Fair enough.
and in the wider Caribbean as well. But we're talking about Jamaica right now. There is
It's a world thing.
serious,
Domestic violence is a
serious
Yeah.
domestic violence issue in this country, and I feel like as artists, as people in the public eye, as people with these young people following you and looking at everything you're doing, it is your responsibility to not promote certain things, right?
Fair.
It's a different conversation talking about the drugs, the drinking, the gallus behavior, whatever, but now you are saying that it is okay for you to lay your hands on someone and it should be acceptable
I think-
because you've thrown money at the situation.
I think
No.
where we're at is that we're on the show, in a way he answered it sounds like, yeah man, from a gear bag is, and that's how it comes off, but I
Yeah.
don't think that's what he wanted to say or bring across. But like we said, I think it's still something very
There is no.
hard to
very
say on
serious.
camera.
No, but you also even hear it in some of the music about.
It's in his
we
music.
will shove our face
It's
down
in
so she'll
it's
do
in his
this.
music, which is why I'm
Yeah.
trying to say he's like, for better or worse, he's a product of his own environment because he speaks like
on what's his
that's
reality, right?
Like,
And you see with a lot of these young guys, and it actually kind of
him literally have a song where him say bad man the fuck around and say yo busting another girl knows on the fuck around like
like
that's
that's
all.
insane. And
That's
I'm
all.
like,
It's
I
there.
am nervous and I'm worried for a lot of the young women coming into their like teenage years or their early adulthood right now, because when I first moved to this island, it shocked me the amount of young women who had experienced some sort of violation, physical or emotional, from their partner. I arrived on this island when I was 21 years old. That's crazy to me that at that age, so many of you have already experienced such horrible things at the hand of somebody who was supposed to give you everything opposite of that. You know what I mean? I think we need to, managers as well, agents, you need to have certain conversations with your artists before they go and do these interviews and say, hey, even if that's how you feel, we don't need that on camera, on record forever.
Yeah, there's an edit point because like there could have been an edit point there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
Even
that's
though
not on Cash's team
no, it's
at
not.
all.
No, it's not.
I actually think it was cool that she put it in, because when I watched, there was a clip that was put online, and when I watched the comments, everybody kind of was thinking what I was thinking, where it was like, yeah, we love that he tricks on girls, we love he's spending the money, more men should spend money on women, da 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 da. But then he gets to that part and it's like, ooh, Jano, like, that's a little, you know.
Yeah, there's you know we can speak on and we've had this conversation here before in terms of like not that it's the same dynamic like when Roger Wild did the thing on CMA when he was on stage
Yeah.
and like you think that like management would be able to say hey we don't really need like
Yeah.
but at the same time I'm not gonna speak for his management or him. It could also be a thing like Maladon is seen as authentic.
Yeah.
Like that's how like that.
I
like,
think he is
you know
seen
what
as
I mean?
authentic. I mean, he released a body of work recently, an album, and it seems to be doing really, really well.
Yeah.
Energy is a pretty cool song on there, and there are a couple of others I know.
I haven't
that-
listened to it yet, but I should.
It's very trap hall. It's very new school dance.
He has good songs.
Yeah, he does
so-
have good songs. He's got a great following. I like how authentic he is. I like how real he is. But I think this now speaks to a larger issue of like artist managers. What are you doing to ensure your artist's success? Or are you just relying?
I can
you
keep
know?
it as somebody who wants to manage artists in the future and does a bit of talent management himself. We cannot I can tell you something, you know. You can only guide them. You can tell them what's wrong from what you think is right from wrong. You can tell them your opinion, but at the end of the day, you work for them.
Yeah.
So if they decide that this is the road they want to take, moral high ground or not, you are in it and you have to be able to manage what comes from that, which is why it gets tricky. Sometimes I don't like putting it on management because at the end of the day I can tell you what
But
you
you
should
can
do,
decide
but
whatever.
you can decide say yo.
It's both of them. I think I'm pushing this more on his management because he is still quite young.
Fair.
That's the thing with a lot of these like new wave artists, they're still so young, especially the dancehall guys. And I feel like in an industry like the entertainment industry, in a genre like dancehall, there is this desire to prove yourself as a man. Otherwise, you won't be a good enough artist.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely, we can go into the toxic male ego side of it for sure.
And I mean, I like that there's been a shift from, or a slight shift, not a crazy shift from the baga gyal thing, right? But it's still like, there's still work to be done. And I'm curious to see, one, if something like this will come up from Maladon again, and two, if there's any backlash, what his management,
I think, you know, and this is one day we can have that conversation like deeply. But there is a level of maybe I shouldn't say last 2 years because Dexter Lap's been doing it for a while. In terms of like uplifting women, it's not only just about demeaning them, it's
what
about
you can do to them.
Yeah, it's blessing. It's like the blessings that they give to you in terms of you know, you get what I'm saying. So I think for somebody who's found that right balance is like Valiant, for example. To me, he's found a right balance.
Idonia's found a pretty good
You're right.
balance.
There's a balance that's needed there.
Yeah.
I feel like it can't just be yo me a
big man. This is what I can do to this girl. Like,
it tough to be a.
It gets weird.
It needs to be hey, you know what this woman has influenced me to do. Because like I'm sure a lot of dancehall artists who have their
you got your little
spouses
girlfriend or
who
something.
have helped you in some shape or form.
Yeah.
So there's a balance that has to happen. Is where I'm.
And it's also
with you.
like, don't you guys have mothers and aunties and grandmas? Show a little respect. I don't really think it's
Yeah.
that challenging.
I
And
feel
I
you.
brought up this balance between like artist and manager because I wanted to talk about what happened with the last sound check.
Hey, shout
All
out to the
right, big up
soundcheck
sound check.
girlies.
Big up to the sound check team. Big up Carlene, Cher, Abby, Lauren, everyone, the
Yes,
Dub
sir.
Squad. I'm also a host on there. Big up my co-host Fireman. Cool.
No, get there.
The last staging of Soundcheck was a poor reflection on its
Soundcheck,
potential, which is really upsetting because I think the concept for Soundcheck is so brilliant in the sense that it gives rising artists a chance to, one, practice their relationship and how to communicate with your fans. It teaches them how to rehearse properly. It teaches them how to perform properly. It teaches them how to captivate a space, regardless of the size of the space. But I think
Which I think is actually more difficult to do in an intimate space, actually.
it's
It puts you-
incredibly hard to do.
yeah.
There's a lot of pressure because you can see everybody in their
Yup.
eyes. It's awkward. And sometimes the crowd, we've spoken about patrons at events before, just going and standing up when you should have
Yeah.
just stayed at your yard. But like, I feel like artists are, or their management, because I can't always say artists, you have to do something to promote your artist as well. Just because you have however many views on YouTube or you've been invited to perform on this stage or you've been able to do this or whatever doesn't now mean that you can just sit back and allow it to happen. Even Beyonce still promotes her stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I think shout out to Jeffrey. He said this recently where him saying being mysterious as an artist is overrated.
I will ignore you.
It's overrated.
What,
It really
what do
is.
you have to
It's
be
overrated.
mysterious? It's gonna sound annoying, but a lot of you have not earned the ego that you have, and that is nuts to me. Because even a big artist like Valiant, who is set to perform at Wireless, who's doing this, who's doing that, he's doing that.
Overseas.
Right? He was still promoting that show, and that his sound check was so packed, people, I almost wanted to go home, and I'm the host. Can you like think about that? And I was almost sad for Pablo IG at this last staging at Soundcheck because the place was so empty, and that was not a reflection on his fan base.
Okay, well, that's what I was about to say. I want to play devil's advocate. You see, I always say, especially with music, you see that buying dollar, like somebody who's coming out to buy, and this is not talking about Soundcheck and their pricing. I'm just saying the buying dollar of somebody who's coming out to come and buy something, to come and see you, to come and take in a performance, spending their money is a whole different thing than me sitting on a platform and listening to your music.
Yeah.
It's like that might be the connection that might be missing for some artists. So yeah, I can sit here and say I'm a Popcorn fan, big up the shirt. I'm a Valiant fan, or I'm an Alkaline fan,
But are you
or I'm
gonna
a
go
Carter
spend
fan.
money
Am
to
I
go
going
watch
to
them?
go and spend my money?
Are you gonna buy their merch?
That's the thing. Like I tell people, say being a fan of music, yes, you have different areas of music. You can love them music. You can you're somebody that supports the merch. You're somebody that posts their album. And there's people who do all three. But it's one of the hardest, most tangible things for you to do as an artist is getting somebody to spend hard-earned money to come and see you.
Yeah.
And that is the disconnect with dancehall, in my opinion.
Yeah, I
You get
think
me?
artists like Armani, his staging of Soundcheck, even though he's still rising and maybe not at the same level as Valiant, people showed up, and it's because
Yeah,
they know
it's-
he's gonna perform. They know they got to look
It's
forward to
tricky.
like Jetty, Pink
Yeah,
Fox, Ziddy, all of them.
It's tricky because I think, like you say, it might not be the best reflection on like Pablo YG, for example.
No.
But maybe we just have to start recognizing that, yes, he's a talent and he's uprising, but he's still missing that connection.
to do live shows.
Not only, yes, for people to come, for people to come out and spend your money. Cartel, as much as great as Cartel is, and him having it's Black Friday today,
Yeah.
him having the deal, they're still finding ways to say, hey, we want people to come.
Yeah.
Because that is not easy. I don't know how to stress it enough.
No, but
guys.
people
That's
also
not
said
easy to do.
when Cartel first announced that he's having his the Freedom Sheet concert, a lot of the older heads were saying, "But Cartel's not a good performer."
Not
You know what
only
I
that,
mean?
it's not only that, and yes, even if Carter's not a good performer, he still has the pain, like a buying dollar. They're gonna
pull,
come.
yeah,
The
the
pull.
clout.
People are gonna come. They're gonna pay their
Yeah.
money to go. You get me? And that is again, I don't want to stress it enough. That is the most difficult thing
Yeah.
to do in music.
It is the most difficult thing to do, and I wish that maybe his management. I'm not gonna blame this on Pablo YG because again, he's one of
Yeah.
those artists who is very young. He's only 20.
Seems very like as much as the music is. See, I think what people need to understand is that just because somebody makes music or makes a certain type of music, it means that they're extroverts. No, he seems introverted to me. I don't know how.
I mean, I got the opportunity
yeah.
to interview him. This was like my second time interviewing him actually, like for the pre-soundcheck interview, and I interviewed him a couple months ago when I was still working at Zip, right when he released Rich and Richer.
No, guys, it's Luna. Luna's a very experienced.
I love to chat, and I love any
talking has worked
opportunity
for
to
her.
chat.
You get me?
But I would say like the difference in between interviewing him for the Rich and Richer album, which was released in March this year, versus interviewing him just now, leagues. When I interviewed him for Rich and Richer, that was a boy who could hardly articulate
Felt like
himself.
pulling teeth.
Yeah, that was a hard interview to do. He himself was very unsure about a lot of things.
Yeah, it's nerves.
Right? There's a lot of people who came with him. Maybe he was nervous about being around some of them. I don't know. But when I saw him now, he was more sure of who he was, the music he had to offer. He came with a much smaller team, right? And sometimes as an artist, your
Artist
team
development
needs to be,
is important.
right? Your team needs to be
Management of
smaller.
team is important.
Artist development, a huge part of that is knowing you don't need 10 million people around you to succeed.
Yeah.
You need 3 people who know you really well, who have your best interest at heart, who are going to tell you things you maybe don't like sometimes,
Especially those people.
right?
People that can be honest, not just yes men.
But they have your best interest at heart because he came out and he performed. He did it was a short performance, mind you, at soundcheck, but he put his all into that, but it's just like I'm trying to be respectful of the fact that I'm a part of the soundcheck team and not give too much, but also be.
Yeah, I think what you're saying on a outside of soundcheck, you're just using soundcheck because obviously anytime soundcheck keep, we talk about it.
Yeah.
So no matter
It
what.
was just-
But I think you're talking about the responsibility that
Yes.
the artists and teams have.
Yes, especially the team, because I think in my head, I view artists as big babies, right? They're big babies with a lot of talent, who have a lot of potential, but they're big babies in the sense that they're highly emotional. They've got a lot going on at one time, and oftentimes they're focused only on themselves, right? And babies are really that. The emotional regulation is
To zero.
weak,
Yeah.
and a lot of times babies are only really cognizant of themselves, right? A lot of times artists operate like that, and I feel like if you are going to take up yourself and say, okay, I'm going to be on this artist team, you need to be prepared to really be on this artist team. You know they have a show coming up. Stock Ashley, for example, she didn't have the biggest crowd, but her crowd all came out in pink and black, like she requested. All the girlies were in the crowd. It makes a difference how you are.
Yeah, there's like I said, the connective tissue between artist and patron, not artist and patron, but artist and fan of artists to me is when a fan is willing to pay to come and see you. Again, it is the most difficult thing to do. Somebody who's worked with people in music, been around people in music, that is always the most difficult thing to do. So when I see artists, for example, like a Protege for Lost in Time, when you're able to do festivals like that for your own thing and you're popcorn with Unruly Fest. When
There
you're
was no Unruly Fest this year.
no, there won't. I don't think there's going to be one this year.
Bring it back.
Yeah, there's you get when you are able, especially as a dancehall artist, because we can talk about overseas where they have bundle packages with music. We can where it's they're more advanced than we are in terms of how labels get people or in
Their industry has structure.
what's that? Incentivize, is that
Yeah,
the word?
yeah.
Incentivize people to buy products that are related to artists. So you have to respect the dancehall and reggae artists that are able to connect to really hit that
Who are
note.
some artists you think have like really mastered that?
Popcorn has mastered it, whether it's through just him genuinely being himself, but he's also been able to, like I say, it's that buying dollar. So him, I would say Protege out here. I would say Chronix is so what's the word? His fan base is so loyal and
Yeah.
eclectic that he pops out, they're gonna pay.
He's allowed to be elusive,
Right,
because he's an extraordinary talent.
Right, yeah. That's the difference. Like you can't be. Chronix is an exceptional artist. He can be elusive,
Yeah.
and his fan base is loyal like that. They're gonna just pay whatever they're paying. The next person, I'm gonna say Valley's getting there.
Yeah.
Getting there. Alkaline has it because
Yeah.
he can be elusive, but he has a loyal fan base that will pay their money.
I will say though, these artists that we've named, Alkaline and Chronix, as elusive, they've earned that right.
They have.
What they were doing when they first
Yeah.
started their career has cemented them as artists so much.
Exactly.
And they're now allowed to be a little weird and a little
Yeah,
absent, and
yeah.
it's fine. When you're still growing and developing, and I remember who I was talking to about this the other day. There's a difference between artists who will do well locally and artists who will do well internationally. And I feel like there are some artists who are a little complacent because they happen to be doing well locally.
Well, the thing is that again, we know say, for example, let us say an artist do a show at Mecca.
Yeah.
Let's just as using as a venue, do a show at Mecca, right? He might be able to do that show at Mecca and Mecca Ram, constant spring lockdown,
Yeah.
traffic, can't move about, right? But he might go to a New York, and the club might not be that packed.
No.
Because it has to still translate.
But
You
I
get me?
think when some of these artists go internationally, they are mindful of the fact that, like, oh yeah, all I can fill out is a club, right? So
Yeah,
they don't
most
go
teams
into-
are
right?
mindful of that.
I'm like, why don't you have that same humility here locally?
Well, I think again, it's the. I'm not going to just blame it on ego. I try to avoid that. Our ego's a part of it, but I'm trying to avoid that. I think it's really you're the man of yard. You're the guy. Huh? You're the man of yard. You're the guy. So whatever is being told to you, whatever you feel from your fans, and you feel like you're the guy until you go over there, recognize that boy, it's a whole different
Ball game. Whole different
And that's
ball
why a lot of people, even there's people who still go over there and they stay within the diaspora.
Yeah.
Because we had that conversation when we were talking about the Grammys,
Yeah.
unfortunately, where I was like, I said, and you know how much I rate Massacre.
Yeah.
But he might be great in the diaspora regions in terms
he's
of.
not great international.
But that he did, and not even. Basically, he's probably well known in New York, Florida, them place there. But he might go to like Arizona
And
where
nobody
people
knows
don't know him. You get me? And that's the
Yeah.
thing. So, yeah.
Anyway, what do you guys think about
Yeah, it was a
everything?
yap session. man.
Right? No,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
had a lot to
Yeah,
cover,
we
to be
spoke to
fair.
that, yeah.
What do you guys think? Are you a fan of the new Kendrick album? Do you believe that artists need a little bit more media training, maybe before doing certain interviews?
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys been to Soundcheck? Were you at the Pablo YG Soundcheck? Who do you think should be the next artist to perform on Soundcheck? What can we do to encourage our artists to try a little bit more? The cool guy thing. I'm gonna tell the producer to put that meme up.
Yeah, being
The
too
cool guy.
being too
The chill guy,
being too
you know?
elusive is over, guys. Unless you're a certain artist, you're
Unless
not gonna
you've
get you far.
earned that,
Yeah, you're not gonna get you far.
this is not the time for that, I will say, Jordy, is there any other new music that you want the people to listen to?
Oh, Jordy's Gems.
Jordy's Gems.
We definitely need
Ooh,
like
I have
something at
one.
the screen.
Flo Milli and Megan. Also, Flo Milli, congratulations, I guess, on the baby.
Oh, she's pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh, are you okay? You sound like you don't like it.
City girls down.
Yeah. Hot girls down. City girls down.
Cause she had a baby. She's pregnant.
She's pregnant right now. She
Okay.
looks gorgeous. She looks so good.
So why that means it's the girls on?
I'm just like a little sad. Like
You wanted more music.
I know she's still gonna be putting out music. Like Mona Leo was still putting out music. I'm just sad because it's like you just talk so much shit. And I know you always have a Haitian nigga in the back, but girl, I didn't think you'd let him.
Yeah, Flo. Speaking of Flo Milli, that song with Skepta, While I.
Yes!
Dope.
Love,
Really good
love. Guys, that song made me feel so in love. I even
Really
posted
good
a dump
song.
with me and my light skinned man of that on Instagram.
Really
Big up
good
you,
song.
Skepta.
Really good song.
But I was saying, Meg Thee Stallion and Flo Milli, they released a music video for their song. I think it's Rock. What is it? Rock Steady? Hold on, let me tell you guys.
I don't have a lot of like new music to put on right now, but I will tell you that you guys should listen. Obviously, not just the Kendrick album, because that's obvious. I would think that you
Oh,
guys would listen to
Rocksteady,
that.
yeah. Megan Thee Stallion featuring Flo Milli. Great music video. Mega's really been in her bag lately. Quietly. She's not making as much disruption as what was going on after her doc was released, but I like that she's still consistently keeping the girls fed.
she keep Rock Nation lights on.
Yes.
Because every time them posts she.
Of
So,
course. You think
know.
Beyonce's doing work anymore right now?
On the reggae scene, we also did an interview with Ayatosh.
Yeah.
Big up Ayatosh for
Make
the
sure you
people.
check out that interview.
Please
It'll be
check
linked
out
down
that
below.
interview and please listen to that project. It's really good.
For the people.
And yeah, that's where I'm at with it right now.
All right, cool.
Cool.
If there's any events that you guys want us to cover in December, after I do my little exams, I'm outside. Jordy has no responsibility, so he's outside.
Broke pocket boy.
Damn!
Nah, they're not.
Oh, what? Is that what we're doing? Is that what we're doing?
That
But
was the energy.
Damn!
if there's any events that you guys recommend,
I mean, my broke still, but you know, I have responsibilities though.
that's okay.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
fine.
if there's any events that you guys think we should be at this December, comment down below and let us know. If there's any new music that you think we should keep an eye out for, or if there's any albums or tracks that you think we should have listened to that we haven't mentioned in this episode, make sure you comment down below. I'm your girl Luna.
And this is Jordy, guys. I know she reiterated already, but please follow the playlist on Instagram
At the playlist.
at the_ playlist to be correct. You can follow me, Jordy Management, JORDYMGMT.
Stay tuned with Luna. My spelling is not strong, so I'm not going to do it, but it will be placed right here.
And subscribe to the Culture Outlet, where this is where the playlist lives. So subscribe there, and we're out.
Love you, play listeners. Bye.